Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. As much we should respect others, so much we must respect ourselves. Those who condemn themselves, I am a sinner, I am very bad, I have got very bad temper. Such people, those who disrespect themselves, they are committing the highest crime in their life. As much we should respect others, we also respect ourselves. Respecting means, whom do we respect? Whenever we see something higher than us, see, like we see a Mahatma, why we respect him? We see something higher than us in him. Either he is more in age, therefore respect, or he has got a longer beard than us, therefore respect. Something more. In the same manner, we have to see something more in us. So we are not merely the husband, wife, brother, sister, mother, father. That's much more than that. And that much more is, we are human beings. As human beings, we are not miserable. But when the human beings are covered by the husband, the wife, the sister, the brother, the mother, the father, then all the miseries come up. Now, if you can try to comprehend this point, how do we cover the man by the husband? How do we cover the lady with a mother-in-law? See, I told you the other day, there are different types of in-laws. One is the mother. Woman as a mother is the best. There is no second opinion about it. Then the same mother as a mother-in-law of the son-in-law is better than the mother. Then the same mother as a mother-in-law of the daughter-in-law is Bhadrakali, Mahakali, Karali, Kapali. So the mother-in-law is covering the woman. In the same manner, these non-existing entities, they cover us. And therefore, come to recognize that there is some higher principle that we are. And when our attention will go toward this higher principle, then we will respect. And this discovery of the respect is called as self-confidence. Self-confidence manifests when there is self-recognition. See? It is something like, if a husband is miserable, how that husband can become happy? Come to recognize, I am not husband by birth. It was just an accident. That this man was covered by an illusion called as husband. Therefore, let us respect ourselves. And if we are respecting ourselves, so whatever we respect, like we respect God, we go and do the puja. And in that puja, every part of these rituals, all of them are aimed at bringing out the divinity in us. See? Therefore, Sarvatmakatva Drushya Vilayo Gandha. So we are now applying the Chandan to the self. See? Controlling the mind. Is it like a horse that you control? Is controlling the mind like controlling a car? No. Before we want to control the mind, we must also know what is the disturbed mind. Then you can control. If we do not know what is the meaning of disturbed mind, how can you control it? See? So what is the disturbed mind? Disturbed mind is that mind which runs without any control in three parameters. One is time, second is space, place, and the third is object. Our mind is constantly running in time, space and object. Desha kala vastu. So what is a disturbed mind, uncontrolled mind? Uncontrolled mind means that mind which is running in these three parameters. Now observe this in your own life. See? Like we go for a walk, when we have gone for a walk, we are never where we are. See? We are walking here, and while walking here, we go to other place. Kailash. There was a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law. And daughter-in-law mother-in-law went for pilgrimage. Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, Yamunotri, all the holy places. And the daughter-in-law was staying at home. In due time, both of them died. The story doesn't end. Moral of the story has to be told. So, when they went up there, then the God said to the mother-in-law, you go to hell. And to the daughter-in-law, he told, you go to heaven. So, the daughter-in-law said, I have no objection. We must respect elders. Now the mother-in-law was worried. How come I have gone to all the holy places and you are sending her to the heaven? I think there is a mistake in your calculation. Ladies can find mistake even with God. Like the proofreaders. A proofreader cannot read the text. He will see the mistakes. So Bhagavan said, look here, I am not wrong, it is right. How come? She said, when you were in Badrinath in the morning, instead of looking at me, you were thinking, oh, now the milkman must have come. Now the daughter-in-law, I hope she wakes up in the morning and she takes the milk. She is very lazy and I don't know whether my grandson will get milk or not. Thus in all the places wherever you were all the time at home. And your daughter-in-law, she was all the time seeing the time pass and oh, now my mother-in-law must be in front of Lord Narayana. How lucky she is standing before the Lord. See? This makes all the difference. Therefore, controlling the mind means see that the mind doesn't run from place to place. Similarly, controlling the mind with reference to time. When we see the kids playing, we don't enjoy that. जब हम छोटे थे गिल्ली डंडा खेलते, who cares यार? Nobody is interested in what you are playing. But we don't enjoy the game of the children. We suddenly flashback or flashback. All the time we are never wanting to remain in the present. This is how the mind is not under control. And when we see some person, some object, immediately comparison starts. See, when I look you, I remember one actress in India. What is her name? Tuntun. Thus, our mind is not controlled. Disturbed means the mind is constantly running from time, place, and object to time, place, and object. So, if we want to control our mind, behind whom the divinity is hidden. See, God is hidden behind the mind. So instead of working on the mind to remove the mind, we are working by the mind and going away from ourselves. That is samsara. See, friends. Therefore, here we are doing this puja. Puja is done. We see a stone and try to see God in the stone. See? When a devotee of the Lord is looking at the Parthiva Vigraha, an idol made out of stone, he looks at it and is so much lost in divine experience. But when an archaeologist looks at it, who is an archaeologist? His love for his wife starts growing when she becomes old. This is called a tube-light understanding. So, when a devotee looks at the idol, he sees God and he is in contemplation. But when an archaeologist looks at it, he sees which stone it is, which year, is it from Mohenjo-daro or Harappa? And he is lost. In the same manner, when we are seeking our own self, are we lost in the mind? The mind is very disturbed. Swamiji, what should I do? Whose mind is disturbed? My mind is okay. No. My mind is disturbed. You manage. What can I do? See? Like you people get married and tell Swamiji, I got married. I don't know what I should do. It's your problem. See, friends. Therefore, work on the mind. And working on the mind is removing the mind. When the mind is removed, the divinity manifests. And how do we remove the mind? Druk avishishta atmanaha akshada. Druk, the seer, the experiencer. Avishishta, non-specific. See? So, druk avishishta atmanaha akshata. So, our recognition of ourself is not a specific individuality. Druk vishishta. Now, take an example to understand this druk vishishta. There are two children and two respective mothers. When such two mothers are standing, looking at their children, what they will talk? Oh, my son is so intelligent, I tell you. He asked me so many questions. And once he asked me, Ki, Mummy, why didn't you call me for your marriage? He is so intelligent. So the other one, Did he know that you are second marriage? So, their mothers will be talking, your son, my son, your son. That is a specific I. See? When the woman is looking at a child as a mother, specific I. But when a person looks at a child without creating any relationship, that is a non-specific I. See? One lady once spoke to me in Bombay. Swamiji, I get confused with you. I said, that is my profession, so I am successful. My confusion is, sometimes I feel you are my brother, sometimes I feel you are my father, sometimes I feel you are my grandfather. I said, don't go further. So, I don't know why you are laughing. What I meant was great-grandfather. So, I told her, I said, look here, प्यार को प्यार ही रहने दो, रिश्तों के नाम ना दो. Let the love remain as love without creating any relations. Relational mind is a binding force. Non-relational mind is freedom. See? This is what here, application of akshata. See? Akshata means the unbroken. You know, the rice which is used for akshata is supposed to be the complete grains. But if you go in India, you ask, give me rice. He will ask, what for you want? For akshata or for eating? Why this question? No, akshata rice is 1 rupee, 100 kilos. And for eating rice, 100 rupees, 1 kilo. Why is the difference? Because the akshata rice is all broken in pieces, then anyway you have to throw. No. Akshata should be the complete grains. It should not be broken. Kshata, destroyed or broken. Akshata. So, druk avishishta atmanaha akshata. So, remain in this life as non-relational existence. It is for this purpose only that the Babajis have to change their name and form. See, friends. Wherever the name and the form, which is world, when we talk about the world technically speaking, what is the world? World has got two components. Asti, Bhati, Priya, one component. Nama, Rupa, second component. Iti, Pancha, Amshakam. Adyatrayam, Brahma, Rupam. Jagat, Rupam, Tato, Dvayam. World means it has got these two things, Satchidananda, that is Brahman, Nama, Rupa, name and the form, that is world. So wherever the name and the form is discarded, there the divinity manifests. See? That is why in our country, in India, the confluence of two rivers called as Prayag is considered to be a holy place. Like you take Rudraprayag for example. In Rudraprayag, what happens? From one side, Alaknanda comes. Dancing, giggling, dashing, making noise, you know. Like some people go for a walk, like that. There was no joke. It was a reality. Alaknanda. And from the other side, it is Mandakini Mandakini, so graciously, comfortably flowing, without any turmoil anywhere. When these two rivers come together, then Mandakini gives up her name and form and merges in Alaknanda. From then onward, it is called only as Alaknanda. Wherever name and form is given up, it is a holy place. That is why in India, after marriage, the girls are supposed to change their names. Suppose earlier her name was Mamata. So after the marriage, they give the name Ahanta. And these days they don't want to give the name. They will be adding their family name as well as the family name of the husband. Like, Mamata Roy Chaudhary. So she was earlier Mamata Roy, got married to Chaudhary, Mamata Roy Chaudhary. Then their child got married to Banerjee, Mamata Roy Chaudhary Banerjee. And ultimately, which is the name you forget? So whenever names and forms are given up, it is a holy place. So here, Druk Avishishta Atmanaha. When we relate ourselves with the world without any specific relationship, then alone we have merged in the absolute self. See? But instead of this, after even taking sannyas, etc., people create relation. Guru Bandhu, Guru Ma, Guru Dadi, Chacha Guru, Mama Guru, Are Ram Ram Ram, Guru ki khichdi banai. All relations are null and void. Relational existence is specific existence. Non-relational existence is the absolute existence. Therefore, Druk Avishishtatmanaha Akshata. Then this experience we all have in deep sleep. In deep sleep, we are not related to anything or anybody. So what is our common experience in deep sleep? We are all happy. Not only we. Others, those who are awake, they are also happy. Acha sone do. See? Happiness everywhere. Therefore, this is Akshada, offering the Akshada, the rice grains to the Lord, to the self. So remaining in this. Now see, all these actions which are used in the puja, they are not doing anything, but every action is undoing. Akshata we take and offer. And Akshata is offered, this finger is not used. Because this is used for chuna with the tamaku. Therefore, this finger is not used. So, they use only these two fingers and the thumb and you use it. And then it is offered. Not like khadak, khadak. Many people they do like this. They throw and the Lord is hiding. That is not the way. You take it, bring it to your heart, and then you offer it slowly. So, these akshatas offered to the Lord means attainment of this non-relational experience, what we have in the deep sleep. When the deep sleep experience is extended in the waking without going to sleep, that is called as meditation. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sayyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. Pashyato munehe, the awakened one, he is able to see the non-specific existence in the multiplicity of experiences. And the ignorant man is trying to see the differences, forgetting the common denominator. Therefore, druk avashishtatmanaha akshata. This non-specific, intuitive experience of one's presence is offering akshata to the self. You are not cut the self into pieces. I am the knower, you are the known. I am the related, you are the related one. I am the possessor, you are the possessed one. See, we must learn the art of belonging, never possess. See? And when we belong, our responsibility is zero. When we possess, all is our responsibility. Possessiveness is burden. Belonging is unburdening. We belong to the Lord. O Lord, thy will be done. We belong to Him. You will be relaxed. But we become possessive. And then we suffer incessantly. Now, after Akshata is offered, then we have to offer the flower. Chit adiptihi pushpam. Pushpa, the flower is added. What is that? Chit adiptihi. Chit means consciousness. Adiptihi, manifestation. See? So be attentive. Who is expressing through the body? Is the body expressing as I am the body, or somebody else is expressing through the body? See? If I start expressing as the body, the quality of my life will be totally different. So what will be the quality of my life? Living for the body, living by the body, living on everybody. That's all. So what will be the yoga practice? If you do this thing, you will have a longer life. For what? For suffering. If you want to curse somebody, curse. May you live long. You don't have to tell him suffering. Naturally suffering. See? Therefore, simply living as the body is not offering the light to the Lord. See? Pushpam, the flower to the Lord. See? So, the flower is added to the God's idol for some beautification. See? Like there is some, where we had in Melbourne, Western suburb, Ganeshji was kept there, poor fellow, looking not a single flower here and there. And then one lady thought, okay, I have got something here, and then she removed all that. And she came and gave it to him. Gandhiji said, इस्तेमाल किया हुआ दे रहे झूठा झूठा ही सही. So we add flowers, etc., so that the whole altar is beautifully decorated. In the same manner, the beauty of our life is we are no more living as body, but we are living through the body. It is for this purpose all the spiritual practice is meant. There are two stages. Stage number one, we have to accept it, that the embodied is living the life and not the body. See? And it is for this purpose that our scriptures talk about last life, this life, next life. It's only for this purpose. Normally, what is our life when we are living as the body? Then we look upon the world as only the body. And then, thereafter, all the problems of my life are because of somebody. See, this is the common default settings in our system. We are expert in blaming others for our miseries. So what the scriptures want? They want, first of all, stop blaming the world for your miseries. But why people trouble me? Because in your last life, you have tortured your wife. Then, in this life, she is coming with the interest. But I don't remember anything, never mind. Whether you remember or not, it makes no difference. She is going to take the revenge fully. But then what can I do now? Now, don't follow the same technique of the last life. In this life, behave properly. Then, if you don't, next life again, be ready. No man, I can't do anything but not that. I have a friend in a UK, he's a Punjabi, very nice person. He tells his wife, look here dear, I have never objected you doing anything. You do anything, I will not object. Drink, dance, go to club, anything I will not object. Only one thing I will not allow you to do. What is that? Karwa Chauth. Karwa Chauth is a fast and a day observed by the married ladies so that they can get the same husband in the next life. So he said, please don't do that. I don't know to take a risk. So she is doing Karwa Chauth, she will again torture you next life. Then what I should do? Behave properly. Now see the summation of these two thoughts. We stop blaming others and our lifestyle becomes well improved. Then we can think about something higher. Those who are engaged in blaming others, they have never stepped on the spiritual path. For this purpose we are told, we are the embodied because we lived in the other body, we are living in this body, and when this body is dropped, we will continue to live in another body. So the embodied is someone other than the body. See friends. So, in the same body, take for example, earlier it was the child body. Now in the child body I existed. Then the child body was gone. Then the teenage body came, made a lot of noise. Then teenage body also gone. Then the middle-aged body came, that also gone. See? So the difference between the childhood and old age is only this. Childhood comes and goes. Old age comes and takes. Doesn't go. Therefore, in and through all these bodies, I was someone different. In the same manner, we are told by this technique that come to recognize your identity as an embodied and not the body. Then only this question will be valid. Who am I? Many times funny questions come. Swamiji, please tell me who am I? One person just casually asked me. So I looked at him. I said, shall I tell you the truth or bluff? He said, for a change, tell the truth. I said, okay, listen. You are a fool of the highest order. Do you call me fool? I said, yes. Same question was asked by Ramana Maharshi. Do you mean he is a fool? I said, no, he is not a fool. Why? He didn't ask me this question. See, friends, who am I? This question can crop up in your mind only if you accept that you are someone other than the body. See? As a body, we have no doubt. I am young, I am beautiful, I am awful. See? Where is the doubt? That question will come only if we accept our identity as someone other than the body. This is what we were trying this morning meditation class. Unless this becomes firm, we can never progress on the spiritual path. Then for such people, spirituality is about go to the temple, Bhagwan list likh lo. Kindly note down the thing. Bhagwan says, send me SMS, enough. And when our SMS comes, he deletes it. Therefore, our devotion spirituality is that. It is not spirituality. Make these 2 points clear in your life. Who's your, maybe your guru, what your path you are following, what your religion you are following. 2 things clear. First step, freedom from body identification. Welcome, dear. And the second step, freedom from a sense of being a soul. 2 things are to be transcended. See? If this is not understood by us, then our spirituality is what Bhagwan Shankara says, Kurute Ganga Sagar Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Athava Dhanam. That is spirituality. Or torturing the body. Agre Vanni Prishte Bhanu Ratrau Chuga Samarpita Janu. Or wait for the time to come. Angam Galitam Palitam Nam Dashana Vihinam Jatam Tundam Vruddho Yati Grihitva Dandam Tadapina Munchati Asha Pindam. Asha has not come. See? That is not spirituality. It is self-deception. Anything that will help us in attaining freedom from body identification, that is spiritual path. Anything that will guide us in getting freedom from the notion that I am a soul in this body, like there is a soul for a shoe. In the same manner, there is a soul in every body. No. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Bhagwan Sri Krishna says, I am the one expressing through everything and being. Our attention is not on the Lord. Our attention is on the expression. That what is expressing is important, not what the expression is. See? Like sometimes the father gives one heart to the child. So, expression is anger and hitting. But what is behind that, what is expressing? It is love and concern for the child, is it not? But if we don't see what is behind the hit, then immediately, I don't know what is the number here, in USA, 911. See? Child abuse. हमारा बच्चा हम कुछ भी करेंगे. No child abuse. You have no right to say one word to the child. Dumb philosophy. Therefore, here, what is expression? Through every expression, adiptihi, chit adiptihi. So, we are no more expressing as the body, but we are expressing through the body. And what will be the best expression through the body? Only one. And that is unconditioned love manifesting as pure service. Seva matra. See, friends. Then the divinity expresses. Not what will I get. See? Then chit adiptihi. Who is expressing through the mind? Is the mind expressing or somebody else is expressing through the mind? If someone else is expressing, then kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, desire, anger, greed, frustration, jealousy, etc. But if the divine is expressing through the same mind, then love, compassion, service, sacrifice, understanding is the difference. Who is expressing? So Chit Adiptihi Pushpa. This is what is called as the real beautification of our personal life. Then we are doing the Atma Puja. More than what I get, what I can give to the world is important. I want to give happiness to the whole world. Swamiji, please tell me what should I do. One person asked me this question in Rajasthan. Swamiji, please tell me, I want to do something for you. You know, I got a lot of money. Money is no criteria. You just tell me, I will do that. I said, be happy. Come on. Tell something else. I said, be miserable. What is that? But my being happy, how can it help you? I said, look here. There will be one less miserable fellow coming to me. Beginning. Otherwise, everybody goes, Swamiji, kamar mein dard hai. You are telling lies, there is no kamar dard. No, Swamiji, really, there is no. How come? It is not kamar, it is kamra. Kamra means a hall. Kamar means a waist. So it is a W-A-S-T. Chit Adiptihi Pushpam. Now after we have put the flower on the Lord, that the self is, now we have to do the arti. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. This mantra we say, but what is the meaning? Tape recorder. Na tatra suryo bhati. When the words do not carry along with them the meaning, then those words are noise. Like I was in China. Now Chinese language I don't understand. So whatever that girl was talking to me, ing kung ka chim kung am. Then I asked her, I said, can you translate it in English? Oh, Swamiji, I'm sorry, I forgot. But I said, you are really a great person. I said, didn't say only in English. Similarly, when we are chanting the Arti to the Lord, what is the meaning? See? So this is the Vedic Arti normally chanted. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra, na tarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagnihi. 5 things. These are the 5 sources of light. One school, the teacher asked the students, who is more powerful, the sun or the moon? So all the children said, sun. One child did not say sun. So what about you? Moon is more powerful. How come? Sun gives light during day, moon gives at night. Genius. So these are the 5 sources of light. Now, tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. It is in his light, all these lights are illumined. Now here the highly contemplative topic, be extremely attentive. Not serious, but attentive. In a dark room, if we keep a simple candle, it is bright. The same candle, if we keep at 12 o'clock in a blazing sunlight, it is not even recognized. The flame will disappear in the presence of the bright light. What we will say? That the sunlight is brighter than the candlelight, is it not? Then go further. Who establishes that there is a sunlight? The light of the eyes. For Gandhari, there is no sunlight. So, the light of the eyes is more powerful than the sunlight, is it not? Otherwise, how can the sunlight be illumined by the light of the eyes? Then, the light of the eyes is illumined by the light of the mind. So, the light of the mind is more powerful than the light of the sense organs. And the light of the mind is illumined by the light of consciousness. But normally what happens in our understanding, light means we see, oh, there is a tube light. Tube light not there here. That is not the meaning of light. Light means the one who illuminates. That is the meaning of light. Therefore here, Suryatmakatvam Deepaha. See? Yosa Vasau Aditye Sohamasmi. That which is expressing as light in the sun is the one who is expressing through this point as a person. Sohamasmi. Yosavaditye, that which is expressing in the sun, that I am. Now be attentive. See, there are, these mantras have got, 3 layers of meaning. One is Adhi Bhautik meaning, second is Adhi Daivik meaning, third is Adhyatmik meaning. Adi Bhautik means like the sun that we see hanging in the sky, that is Adi Bhautik sun, which is used by the scientists. Second is Adi Daivik sun, the one because of whom Karna was born. And the third is Adhyatmik sun, because of whom there is a vision in our eyes. So the same sun, Adi Bhautik in the sky, Adi Daivik, the divinity behind the Adi Bhautik sun, and Adhyatmik sun in the eyes, because of whom the vision is possible. See? Now, interpret this mantra in the light of this understanding. Na tatra suryo bhati. The light of the sun in the outer world cannot illuminate the absolute truth. Similarly, the light of the sun in the vision, that means none of the sense organs can comprehend the self. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra. Moon is the presiding deity of the mind. So the mind cannot comprehend the truth. Then Agni is the presiding deity of the speech, nor the speech. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. So none of these faculties, Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, mind, intellect, can comprehend that. See? Therefore here it is Suryatmakatvam Deepaha. That which is expressing as the sun in the sky is the same expressing as the sense organs, the mind, etc. That one common factor is my essential nature, and he is the one who is illuminating everything. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. See, friends. Unless we become naturally subjective in our contemplation, we will be only struggling. See? For example, those who have got the scientific background, for example, softies. Who are the softies? They don't like to see the human face. They like to see the monitor. And they work only on options. This option. As a result, their life is optional. And then keep on searching whether I am Brahman or Brahm. Option. They select one option, Brahm. It sounds good. See, friends. Therefore, here the Deepaha, Suryatmakatvam Deepaha, that which is illuminating the light in the sun is the one which is illuminating the life in me. That is my essential nature. Now see how subjective it is. Colors and forms exist in the vision. For a blind person, colors and forms do not exist. For a deaf person, sounds don't exist. One day in Atlanta, I was going for my lecture, and our neighbor was one Gujarati family. So my host asked me, Swamiji, our neighbors, that lady has told, can you take my mother-in-law for the lecture in the evening, for Swamiji's lecture? So Swami, shall we take? I said, see, you decide, I have no problem. Okay, we have got a seat in the car. I said, take them. She came and attended the lecture, came back in the evening. And then that lady called me, Swamiji, at least come for a cup of tea. We went. I said, hey, how did your mother-in-law like the lecture? No, Swamiji, she is deaf. Why did you ask me to take her? No, actually, there was nobody at home. This is how people use us. So, for those who don't have ears, the world of sound doesn't exist for them. Those who don't have vision, the world of names and forms do not exist for them. Therefore, where is the whole world? The whole world of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, these 5 objects, the whole world is existing in our sense organs. We will not be able to comprehend it because we are too gross in our understanding. See? Suppose to an old man who has never seen the computer, you tell him that, so much of data is contained in this chip. He will not accept it. How can all the names and forms remain in such a small eye and with the glasses? How it is possible? See? Similarly, all the sounds exist in the ears, and all the sense organs exist in the mind. And mind is that which appears but is not. Naiva Manasam. So where is the world? Think. See? But that which is not, about that we worry. See? And how do we worry? We keep on talking to ourselves. Suppose, the 21st December 2013 gone. Now 2014 maybe. 1 year difference. And keep on waiting. Suppose that time also we don't die, then leave. See, friends. Only imagination. Therefore, that which is expressing through the conditioning of the sun as light is the same one which is expressing through the conditioning of the Panchakoshas as life. Like the light is non-specific. In the same manner, the life is non-specific. Whether it is a hunger of a rich man or a poor dog, hunger is hunger. The principle of hunger is common. See, this story from Shirdi Sai Baba's Pothi has caught my mind so deeply. When that great master asked his devotee, to get food because he was very hungry. That lady came from the field working hard the whole day. And he said, Amma, I am very hungry, get me something to eat. And when she quickly prepared chapati, not from the fridge, she has to prepare, And she came and gave. He did not eat that. Immediately gave it to a dog who was standing nearby with a wagging tail. And the dog was so happy, he started eating. This lady says, you said you are hungry and I did this thing, you are not eating even one bite. He says, look here, the principle of hunger is common. Whether it is my hunger or the hunger of the dog. Who can say this? The one who has come to the point of non-specific existence. Our life is a specific existence. See? If it is your heart attack, never mind, you have heart, therefore you have heart attack. Come on, take it lightly. And if it is your headache, don't disturb. I am having terrible headache. But what about the heart attack? It was your heart, head is mine. See, friends, therefore, one reality, that Suryatmakatva Ekatvam Deepaha, that is the real light. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Then, Paripurna Chandramruta Rasaiki Karanam Naivedyam. After the Deepa is shown, then we offer the Naivedyam to the Lord. Naivedyam is a request. Nivedita, Naivedyam. A request. Sir, please accept this. Okay? Like we go to many houses, they don't ask, they feel Swami is a dabba. But I can't eat, who cares? We eat. It is not Naivedya, it is Gundakarati. कैसे नहीं खाते? You don't know our tragedies. One day one child was complaining me, Swamiji, I am fed up of my mom. She asked me to eat. How much can I eat? I said, I understand your difficulty. You have got only one mother. I am victimized by all the battalions. So, Naivedyam, offering food to the Lord. Now, what food you can offer to the Lord who is infinite himself? Can anything be added to the infinite? Nothing can be added. Can anything be taken out of the infinite? Nothing can be taken out. So what will be Naivedya? Mouthshut.com. There is one website, go and it's very good jokes. Paripurna Chandra Amruta Rasa Eki Karanam. See? That experience of homogeneous, undivided, blissful presence is Naivedya. And we get the glimpses of this experience when we are in deep sleep. See, in deep sleep, first step, there is no sense of otherness. Second step, there is no sense of limitation that I am incomplete. Third step, therefore there is no desire. Fourth step, therefore there is nobody who is desiring. Fifth step, because there is nobody, there are no thoughts. Because there are no thoughts, we don't run away from ourselves. Why many seekers are afraid on the seat of meditation is because of this. They are afraid of themselves. As a result, they are constantly keeping themselves occupied somewhere or the other. I remember many years back, somewhere, there used to be one lady, she used to come for the camps. And coming from a very good family, everything. She will come, but she will never attend any meditation class. And that time, morning, 5 o'clock used to be meditation class. And my duty was to see around, nobody makes a noise, and I was only making noise. Don't make noise, don't make noise. And that time, this lady will be sitting in the kitchen and cutting the vegetables. So I asked her, Mama, why don't you go for meditation? No, I don't like meditation. It is better that I cut vegetables. It is a wastage of time. How come? When I go there, I sleep. So if I'm sleeping there, I do the things here. See? We are afraid of facing our own mind. Therefore, either we run away into sleep or we keep ourselves occupied in a workaholic way. Try this. Remain doing nothing. Immediately the thought will come, why waste time? Let me wash my clothes. Till such time, I want to use time for something better purpose. This thought comes in the mind. Till then, the I has not died. Learn to undo, not do. See? Then we start really facing the challenge that the mind needs. Therefore, Paripurna Chandra Amrita Rasa Eki Karanam Naivedya. Recognition of this infinite blissful experience is Naivedya. More aspects of this we will see in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaha Purnamudachyate